So we all know who Vanoss is, and we all know who the Vanoss crew is. It's basically him himself, Moose Knuckle, H2O Delirious, the Gaming Terrorizer, Louis Caliber, and even basically I Do Work and I Am Wildcat, and so on and so forth. And some of us even noticed that Ohmwrecker was inside of the same group as well, much like any other collaboration groups he does for making YouTube videos in regards to gaming as far as I am concerned. But it feels like to most of us, not everything feels enough, and we're giving either a right choice or the wrong. And instead of Ohmwrecker going with the right choice, and that's just, being quiet and just leaving the group, telling them that you're gonna step down and that you want to move on to do some other things, he made the wrong choice and started to do some bullshit ass drama. And I kid you not, when I say this, I'd never known about this kind of drama. And honestly, I've never looked into what was going on between Ohmwrecker and the whole entire Vanoss crew. And when I was watching a few videos by TJV, and that was like when the drama was going on, well, it was like a few months, maybe even a year after. I mean, this year is basically a year after what's going on, maybe 2 years. Anyways, back to topic. So y'all know who Killer Keemstar is, or the Drama Alert channel, yes? So this happened on one of Keemstar's videos, or I'd say live streams, because live streams are better off for long conversations about a certain thing or some bullshit as drama, as far as I'm concerned. And around the corner comes into one of Keemstar's live streams, I think that is. It is Ohmwrecker. So on May 23rd, and I presume that is last year, Keemstar made a drama alert video at that time in regards to the Vanoss crew that revolves around Ohmwrecker giving details that he would believe, well, actually, I'd say allegations in regards to the whole entire crew, such as H2O Delirious, Wildcat, Louis Caliber, Minilad, and so on and so forth, that I do not know who he involved within all of this. All I do know for a fact is that he's just targeting the Vanoss crew, that's it. And some more drama are even coming up this year as far as I am concerned. And why do you say that, you may ask? Well, if you haven't watched any of TJV's videos or Chilled Venom's videos, some other commentary channels, I'm not really trying to be a commentary channel myself, they have been making a few videos in regards to H2O Delirious and Ohmwrecker being involved in some sort of civil case that I have absolutely no idea what this is about. And I'm lucky enough that I'm not a commentary channel at that time to actually get myself involved into this stupid shit like this, because being inside of a courtroom is not my style. And if I even did get to the same subscriber level as TJV or even Chilled Venom to say about this kind of stuff, well, I am saying it. But if I were like more bigger than I am right now, and another thing is, if I were being called up into this kind of case just because I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I do not want to go. You know why? Because I'm not a fucking lawyer, number one. And number two, money is not expendable because gas is expensive, and going all the way to wherever the fuck this is gonna be at, I bet the gases are expensive. Florida is like the craziest. That's at least what my mind is thinking in regards to figure of speech. I'm gonna talk about the court case later on in the video, just not right now. Right now, I want to actually get into the timestamps of the action spots. To get a better understanding of what I'm going by action spots, I'm going to be going and recovering over what's been going on certain points of the videos that Ohmwrecker has been involved in regards to drama. Not only that, but I'm also going to go through Twitter and see what kind of posts are going to come up. I may not be able to get all of them because they probably are going to be deleted, but looking through the internet could give me a better look at things as far as I'm concerned as well. As Killer Keemstar, aka the Drama Alert Man, would say it, let's get right to the news. May 23rd, 2022, or was it 2021? I don't really know, I don't really care. Let's get this over with. So, a video that came out, also known as the Vanoss Crew, Serious Allegations, Drama Alert, H2O Delirious, Wildcat, Louis Caliber, Meanielad, has been released. And this is by Killer Keemstar himself, also known as the Drama Alert channel. I don't know who officially works alongside with Keemstar. All I know is that Keemstar was covering in on some bullshit that was going on around the Vanoss Crew. Now, how things actually work with groups, this is being said for gaming groups that do or do not YouTube. Not every single group is gonna be perfect, and a lot of people should know this by now. And if you do not know, perhaps I could help you out with that then. Because as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't just Ohmwrecker that started drama within the whole entire Vanoss Crew. Meanielad had done the same thing, but on a different scenario. But no matter what different scenario it is, drama is still drama. And even though the drama is not going to do very much good for the friendships, the only thing that it could ever do is just break the friendships like they are clay pots. You can try to fix it, but it'll take a very long while to do something like that. Back to topic, Keemstar's video has started off like this.
Massive YouTubers, H2O, Delirious, Wildcat, basically do work.
Wait. Before we continue the video, I just want to clarify by saying this. Keemstar, how do you mess up on basically I do works' name? Come on.
So far, 2 people in this group have had serious allegations against them.
You heard that Keemstar said that word. Allegations. You know what allegations lead to? Drama. So that should be a very obvious thing for you people to understand now. That's if you don't understand what drama's going on or how the drama works. At least it's one of the pieces as to how drama starts up at one point. Now, to get to the spicy part about this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ohmwrecker on the line. 2 people in the group over the last couple years have had serious allegations against them. One of them being Meanielad, who, you know, allegedly was, I shouldn't even say allegedly because he admitted it, but, was having inappropriate conversations with underage fans, which he apologized for, and he's still in the mud over that situation. And then about a week ago, a Google Doc dropped against Louis, which had all kinds of different various allegations, ex-girlfriends treating girls like crap, allegedly, being sent back and forth, some underage, according to the Google Doc. You used to play with this group and make videos with them, and you have more inside information than most people. And so we were talking, and you said that the problem is much bigger than just Meanielad and Louis. It's much bigger in this.
Yeah, well, and that doc, I mean, it, when they dropped it, they had all sorts of evidence, including these audio clips with Louis, where he, in his words, had said that there was exchanging of nudes, essentially. Like he was saying, like, I, grabbed nudes out of a group chat. And of course you could say, okay, well, what group chat is he talking about? It could be anybody. But then he specifically said, I wish I got their nudes. I wish I got Delirious's nudes.
Okay, so Ohmwrecker starts us off saying that Louis Caliber about the nudes thing. And Louis Caliber just saying in general that he wished he had H2O Delirious's nudes. Whatever ones. He would ask for copies. Is that not something that people could ask for nowadays? I mean, that could happen. As for sources, yeah, it kind of depends on which ones you're getting them, because you have no idea where you're getting such content, even though I am to not display it right now because I don't have any, number one. Number two, it's kind of illegal to do that inside of YouTube platforms anyway, so yeah. However, I don't know how old this allegation is with Louis Caliber, but I'm just gonna say it's not new. It probably was a very long ass time ago. Probably. Not saying that it is, just assuming. That's being said specifically before the video.
And
so are you saying that, like, these guys are on a group chat, they get nudes from fans or whatever, and they exchange them with each other?
That's what Louis had said. I've heard things over the years where they seem to have had some sort of knowledge. of essentially like Delirious, like the types of girls that reach out to him, and like the types of nudes like he might get, something, but it seemed like a joke at the time. But hearing this come from Louis in his own words to what I understand was somebody that he trusted, it sounds to me, based off of what he said, that there was nudes of fans being exchanged.
This probably has happened when Vanoss and the rest of his crew were doing Call of Duty at the time. I don't really know. They swapped over to Gary's Mod, then they pushed for other games. I don't know when exactly this happened, as I am not officially a part of the group. That should be obvious enough, number one. Number two, I don't look into that shit, okay? So, yeah.
I did talk to Louis. And I did talk to H2O Delirious last night. I wasn't able to get into too many details. I just wanted to get a blanket understanding of where both of them are coming from. Louis denied, all these allegations. He said that, he has treated girls horribly, right? That he's a jerk. And he admitted to that, but he's like, all this other stuff is just, it's not true.
Now, the thing about the Louis allegations, so I'm not really fond of that one as far as I'm concerned, but the way I see it, Louis Caliber, when he says he doesn't treat girls right, like he treats them horribly, that could only assume one thing for me to say that being in a relationship, I don't really think it's part of his style. Not that I know of anyways. And in regards to some of the allegations that he's been involved in, and this probably is taking place within the Twitter platform that he currently is in right now. Well, not recently, but you get the idea. He has been told by a lot of different types of people about this kind of stuff going on, a lot of allegations going on, and for some of them, he can definitely deny the fact that actually happened, because he at one point knows that it didn't really happen at all, and that could apply to every single YouTuber within this platform.
I also talked to H2O, and he basically said that people are out to get him, none of this stuff is true, but you say otherwise. Wasn't there a situation with H2O that happened, I guess you want to say like 2013 or something? You showed me some screenshots of some infighting between the group. What happened in that scenario?
I'm going to take into consideration about this. In a scenario, if it's older than the video, what happened does not, it doesn't apply to the situation at hand. You want to know why? Because at a certain point, the YouTuber is gonna make some certain changes to fix the issue. Like, he's gonna change himself, or she's gonna change himself to make himself or herself a better YouTuber than what he or she is right now. And this is being said for H2O Delirious right here. This all happened in 2013. That doesn't mean it's happening right now. I mean, come on, seriously. And even if it did, it depends on how much the YouTuber looks into this kind of stuff. Still, every single YouTuber's mindsets, including mine myself, are very different than one another to think about how long they should be doing this or how often they should be doing this. And yeah, that's how it works for every single person. And to H2O Delirious, looking into stuff like this ever since 2013, I'm pretty certain that he doesn't look into it that much often anymore. That's even considering the fact that H2O Delirious is currently with Liz Katz right now, and that they have their firstborn child like a year or two ago. Now, infighting, I could say, is just dependable on a certain topic that's going on. That's it.
Ultimately, basically, I do work, and a guy named Executioner collaborated with a girl named and she's 17 years old. They wanted her to record what went down with Delirious, how things went. And you can see the screenshots between them, but there was this big blow up in 2013 where Delirious was upset he got recorded, and you've got Wildcat saying, yeah, he's hooking off with a minor. Several times they mentioned that she's a minor. It was known. And yeah, I mean, they had this recording of Delirious that was going around the group, and they were mocking him for it.
I think the plan was that they wanted to pull a joke on H2O Delirious, but it kind of went wrong. So That's what I think of it. I don't really know about the rest of the people. And all of this is considering to say that I think that the crew was planning to reveal H2O Delirious's face. And this was consideration because H2O Delirious on April the 1st, each and every single April, happens to be an April Fool's prank where H2O Delirious pretends that he is revealing his face. And even though it's disappointing to see he's not revealing it, it's kind of funny. Either funny or entertaining. It doesn't really make a difference.
What about his friends or alleged friends?
Alleged friends? Alleged. Really? Is that the best you're gonna go with? So if you're talking about H2O Delirious supposedly having alleged friends, does that mean the people you meet and you talk that you say are your friends are your alleged friends too, Keemstar? Come on, I don't believe in stupid shit like that. I make certain that my friends are actual friends. And if they don't really want to be friends, they can fuck off. It doesn't really make a difference. When it comes to friendship in regards to myself, I like to just talk and just do whatever the rest of the group wants. We play video games or we watch movies or whatnot. But to say that they are allegedly my friends, I do not say that because they really are doing something pretty cool that I like to do as well, if at a certain point, if I'm not busy. Alleged friendship is not in my vocabulary. Either it's true friendship or just false friendship that exists.
The whole situation is up. I know that even like the predator poachers, they've gotten some flack for supposedly like using a minor as a decoy before. Like they the guys essentially weaponized a 17-year-old girl to set Delirious up, and then recorded it allegedly between Delirious and the 17-year-old that they spread around. So it's just the whole situation is messed up.
I'm sorry, but as messed up as you would say, Ohmwrecker, eventually it's gonna get a fix at one point, even if you do not expect it to be right there, right then. So if that fix goes on, and if there's changes being made throughout the future, I'd say around this year, maybe even last year or 2 years ago, when H2O Delirious finally got together with Liz Katz, all of this shit that you say today in regards to 2013 is all nothing but dismissed bullshit. That's all I could say. I say that because all of this is old news that I don't even know about and have not figured out about throughout my time of middle school while watching you and the rest of the others playing Call of Duty and whatnot. And just because at my time I do not look into those news doesn't mean that I can understand that there's going to be changes within the Vanoss crew as a whole. Not just one person, but for a few multiple people that are within the same group. And that change could take like maybe months or even years. And it has been, 10 years since 2013 as of this point on? 10 years! Well, actually, I think it was like 9 or 8 years when this video was made. But 10 years from now, that same allegation does not apply if these people have made the changes nowadays. So I'm sorry. The thing is that times change, people change, and that they're trying to do better now at times instead of doing worse. That could be said to you. You're just trying to make things worse upon yourself. That's being said in future drama, not this one right here.
Do you feel that, accountability needs to happen for all this stuff that happened a long time ago? Or are you suggesting that you think that, fans, underage fans of this gaming group, are still potentially in danger?
I may have not been asked this question, and if I were asked this question, here is my simple answer to accountability. The person should be held accountability if that was recent, not previously. Like 10 years previously, or 9 years previously, or 8 years previously, in regards to this video, as far as I'm concerned. That's as much as I gotta go. And in regards for the minor being in danger, that highly depends on if the YouTuber themselves made a better change for themselves and their channel for the greater good, so that way they don't get into much deeper trouble than they are now. That's at least how I see it. If the allegations were old, say like 30 days ago, maybe even a year or so, then it doesn't need to be brought up again in regards to the same YouTuber that you are having an iffy issue with. I mean, sure, you can bring it up, but if you're gonna try to further your own cause about this, that does not help you, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, for me, like I said, my focus, I mean, I only just found this stuff a couple months ago, where it started to surface, and then coincidentally, Louis goes and makes comments in his own recording. I feel like in the past we've seen accountability put on people for things in the past, right? For example, when you had covered Basher, right? So the Basher stuff was pretty old, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's up to the viewers. For me, like I said, my goal was to address a blatant lie that Terrorizer put out that caused a lot of damage, and then I come across it.
Some of the stuff that Terrorizer will say may be false. Not completely, but sometimes. Most of the time might be true, and he'll put into his own words as to how the whole entire situation will go. And that will happen for every single person in regards to YouTube, like me making this video right now. Anyways, that's not why I want to stop right there. The reason why I paused this part is because, well, one, you didn't only just go through and address Terrorizer's lies, but you've also addressed some of the facts that he has said, and some of the events that he said were actually true at one point. You probably did that without me knowing, and without yourself knowing, and probably without a lot of people knowing, but it could be possible.
There's so much more to this, and you've only seen a small portion.
Well,
for example, screenshots.
Maybe we need to do a part 2. But for right now, just to cover one situation that happened between Delirious and that. I just find it strange that there's this group, this very successful group of gamers, right, that have been making this content for years. I mean, people love them. Like when I DM'd H2O last night on Twitter, people responded, be like, "Oh, please do not be bad. Like this is my childhood. Like, don't mess with this, right?"
Yeah.
People love these guys. But this group, like, you have these allegations against Louis, you have these allegations against Minilad. Like, how deep is this, right? If the stuff about H2O is true, is real, that's 3 in the group. And then, and if that's real, then basically do work, set him up, which is also horrible. And who was it? Executioner?
You should probably look into some information before you started making this video, and before you start talking about these people in general, Keemstar. And these guys are actually cool when it comes to making videos, I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy seeing them. I just generally don't look into their allegations and just bring them up as a topic. I was young at the time, I was fucking stupid. I was a middle school student at the time in 2013 to 2014 when Vanoss and his crew were involved in this kind of allegations at the time.
And look at, there's even screenshots with Wildcat engaging Breland when she was 17, saying really inappropriate stuff. You could see signs that, in my opinion, it's grooming. It wasn't just Breland, it was Meow Michelle, and there's several other girls too that we were finding that were interacting with different guys.
It's not actually grooming if you're up to at least EDP 445's case, and I don't really want to bring up that guy. It already triggers a lot of people anyways. The better understanding of grooming is also known as the action of attempting to form a relationship with a child or a young person. Sure, that's something that was about to happen, but with the intention of sexually assaulting them or inducing them to commit an illegal act such as selling drugs or joining them in a terrorist organization. Okay, so let me get this straight. You were saying that Mexecutioner, basically I Do Work, and I Am Wildcat was involved into grooming this little girl. It wasn't the case. They just wanted to get H2O Delirious to play with this girl and just, try to pretend they're gonna do a little bit of dating, and then they were gonna see about doing H2O Delirious's face reveal. Like, if it was gonna be a screenshot or whatnot on the Discord or whatever. Surely enough, this was deception that I Am Wildcat, Mexecutioner, and basically I Do Work was doing. but this was to get the full-on reveal of H2O Delirious's face, which has gone wrong. Not to go into EDP 445's case, these three had nothing to do with grooming.
Delirious was in his mid-20s. Delirious, I think, is approaching his mid-30s now. I think he's 34. But then you've got Wildcat was 20 years old. Basically, I Do Work, I think, is just turning 30, so he was in his early 20s. I mean, none of these guys were minors.
Well, since Ohmwrecker didn't know H2O Delirious's age, at least that's what I believe, I'm just gonna specify this right now. At the time that Ohmwrecker was involved in this video, I'm just gonna say that the information is not really valid if Ohmwrecker does not know H2O Delirious's age. And since you said mid-20s for H2O Delirious, that's a range of 24 to 26 years old. And as far as I'm concerned, I did a little bit of math, and based on how I see for H2O Delirious and this 17-year-old that you are talking about, that I am not allegedly to say right now, I should have censored it, but I am not going to say her name nor mention it. I'm just going to say that as long as the age gap does not exceed 12 within North Carolina for H2O Delirious, then everything is fine, considering the fact at the time that both H2O Delirious and this girl was either 7 years, 8 years, or even 9 years apart, since 24 to 26 is at the mid-20s, to say the least. At that time, in 2013, I didn't really know about this allegation, nor did I really care because I watched Vanoss and his team's videos, more of his friends rather than team. But as far as I'm concerned, right now this is just becoming a topic, so really it matters. But this allegation is old. All of this I would count as misdemeanor, that Ohmwrecker is currently doing the wrong towards H2O Delirious for bringing up something that was 10 years old, or I should say at least 8 years old by the time this video was made, which was 2 years ago in 2021 on May 23rd. And this is a misdemeanor because at the time when H2O Delirious decided, when this allegation was passed up, time flies and time changes everyone. H2O Delirious probably didn't want to be with this girl anymore, considering the fact that he doesn't want to get himself into that much trouble anymore just for whatever is happening. H2O Delirious is trying to make changes towards himself and towards his friends. And the same thing could be said for I Am Wildcat. Basically, I Do Work, I'm Executioner, to try to make some changes for not only H2O Delirious, but for themselves, to do better on YouTube than just to do some stupid shit like that. I mean, sure, they still do stupid shit, but they don't go that far, that much anymore. And let's not forget, this date was actually an act of deception just to get H2O Delirious's face reveal, like his true face identity. Nothing more than that.
And I also want to point out, to what you kind of touched on, when this Mini Lad stuff came out, and even Louis, the guy stayed silent on it. The only person that reached out to me was Nogla, and Nogla actually criticized me and tried to make me feel guilty for cutting ties.
That's because ever since last year, when that video was made, which was May 23rd, at least at this time period, it was 3 years ago, Mini Lad was involved in the case also known as pedophilia/sexual assault allegations, which of course is just grooming, in other words. Okay, so Mini Lad did more of the wrong than H2O Delirious. So you're saying, so I'm gonna put this into comparison. H2O Delirious didn't do really anything wrong within that 17-year-old girl. Of course, they were doing something that I am not allowed to say within this platform, and even if I do so, I want to avoid getting myself into the trouble as far as I'm concerned as to what people should know about. Well, should not know about completely yet, but they'll figure out on their own. The thing is, if H2O Delirious was in his mid-20s, and if that girl was 17 years old, that doesn't mean it exceeds to the age limit of 12. That means it wasn't illegal. It was legal at the time. But it was just a decision between one another for them to do whatever they want within the relation. Anyways, back to the Meaning Lad drama. Nogla and the rest of this crew wanted to sever the tie after they found out that in the late June, which was around my birthday as far as I'm concerned, that Craig, Meaning Lad, was doing this type of shit as far as I'm concerned. And the way I see it, I can understand that people don't really want to talk about that kind of stuff because it really gets sensitive between one another. And that another thing is that it's gonna lead on to multiple discussions, and either they don't have the time to waste on those discussions, or that they just can't take in with what's going on anymore. And people are not satisfied with what they hear from what these YouTubers like Nogla I mentioned, or even Terrorizer for severing the ties with Meaning Lad are gonna say in regards to Meaning Lad. And the same could apply to you now at times as far as I'm concerned. And when Nogla is criticizing you upon this kind of shit, what he's trying to tell you is what you should do about this or what you shouldn't do about this. What he's trying to tell you is that you shouldn't mention about this kind of stuff. And what do? You ignored the fucking man. So the fault's on you for not listening properly.
You know, I feel that they've been aware of these things that have been going on, and they've stayed silent. I think the silence speaks volume.
Just because you say they were aware of this does not mean they were completely aware of this happening. You gotta keep in mind, not everyone knows about this kind of stuff that is to happen just yet. Matter of fact, awareness is not some sort of special trait everyone uses all the time, as it just happens to be the case nowadays as far as I am concerned. We are aware of our general surroundings. We're not aware of what one person is going to do to another person all of the time. Though we can predict these kind of things and that people can increase their awareness. Although much like we don't become fully aware of what the situation is between the drama of Meaning Lad and Louis Caliber, not all of us would predict the drama that they're gonna eventually get themselves into within the future. There's two different types of words, even though it's gonna sound like three. There's can and there is will/would. The thing is, these two words are implemented in our brain, but there's a huge difference between them. The thing that our brains implement mostly is the can part. While we can predict what's going to happen and what can we be aware about within some certain situation that is about to occur if we were informed about this. But here's the kicker, because will and would comes up next. Because the prediction you would see, it would not happen to be the right one. Instead, you would need to predict even further as to what will eventually happen in due time. And even though we can all predict on what's going to happen in the future, does not mean we all will know the true answer as to what's going to happen eventually later on. And that is specifically said in any kind of prediction that comes up in mind.
Because I think any other group by now would have said something, denounced what they're doing, right? Like, friends or not.
Aha! So that's where the mind trick actually comes in, that you don't know about just yet. What you need to understand is that people have alternate ideas within their mind. They'll say that they're gonna do this one thing, but then they're gonna eventually go do the exact opposite. And in all honesty, not every single little thing that they're gonna do needs to be announced. And this is said for every single YouTuber or every single famous person that is into movies or even does engineering and etc. etc. They don't need to send out a tweet to inform anyone. They don't need to make a video to inform anyone. As a matter of fact, they don't even want to get into this kind of shit. And I would even want to avoid it as far as I am concerned as well, considering the fact that I know most of the things that is to occur, and even if there was allegations between me and someone else, I know that some of it would be, or even most of it would be bullshit as it is. And although I do have my friends, I don't really have very much of an issue with some of my real world friends. And also, I do not have a girlfriend, so I do not have any allegations in regards to a relationship.
Well, they've been threatening me, dude. Like, I've legit been getting threatened since last June.
But then, he fought fire with fire at that year. And these lists of threats keeps going on and on throughout Twitter to a point where I don't really want to keep track on trying to find throughout the images that were taken and were sent through Google. I'm quite surprised though that Ohmwrecker himself didn't even send death threats, of course. We all know that's bad, but it kind of surprises me since he is starting all this drama. And this little drama that Ohmwrecker has started was based on an event that was, 9.5 to nearly a decade old. Asides this little event, which I didn't know at the time because I was young and stupid and I was inside of middle school watching Vanoss and his crew playing Call of Duty and whatnot, there was nothing else that had ever occurred between H2O Delirious and the rest of the Vanoss crew in regards to some event that happened a long time ago, in which case was kind of a bad one. But wait, here's an interesting fact that I could say right here in regards to this drama that happened inside of 2013 when H2O Delirious was with a 17-year-old girl. Maybe just not one fact, but possibly multiple facts as far as I'm concerned. Fact number one, the Vanoss crew needed someone so that way they could get H2O Delirious to reveal his face, in which case turned out to be a wrong event that occurred a long time ago. So they called this girl up so that way she could be able to do all of this stuff just to get H2O Delirious's real face. Not like the videos we've been getting lately when it comes to the April Fool's jokes. Fact number two, this girl was actually interested into H2O Delirious, no matter how negative he could happen to be towards her in any case scenario. That can be possible until the relation, they cannot keep up with each other anymore, so that's why they broke up at one point. And as it stands to wherever H2O Delirious currently lives, the age limit is up to 12 years old, meaning it wasn't really illegal for H2O Delirious to be dating this girl who was 17 years old in his mid-20s, considering the fact that you haven't even stated out what his actual age is. You might have not known the full details of it as far as I'm concerned, but, you know, you just said mid-20s, so that's the best I could do. Or fact number three, last but not least, is that the girl actually knows the Vanoss crew very well, and just happened to be introduced to H2O Delirious by one of the guys. And from there, that's when she started to gain more interest and wanted to become H2O Delirious's girlfriend. For a temporary amount of time, of course. These facts may not be accurate to what actually happened at the time, but these are the best assumptions that I could come up with. So best take what I have for not the final results.
Everything from lawsuits to they'll all gang pile me. They were really afraid of like having a cartoon that they were doing called Alpha Betas dragged through the mud or canceled because of this, because they saw what happened with PewDiePie.
Yeah.
They literally threatened. Even I've had violent threats from not just the group, but also even some fans.
The violent death threats, I think those are kind of rare to see. I don't really know about this kind of stuff happening as far as I'm concerned, but it's extremely rare. Not only on the logic that they could get in trouble, mind you, at certain points, but also the people who do not say death threats are dumbasses enough to think that it's a good idea to tell you straight towards your face, or even on Twitter itself. Instead, the majority of people is lashing you out. They're giving you the backlash you deserve righteously on this bullshit that you started based on something that occurred a long ass time ago. And I would like to say is that when you're bringing up something that has happened a long time ago, I find it to be highly irrelevant. I said that earlier in the video. It makes absolute no sense to be bringing some bullshit like this back into the broad of light once again if all of that had happened and everyone started to make changes not only to themselves but also to their friends. And I would just personally like to say this: you are many years late to be saying this kind of bullshit, bucko. Up next, TJV's live stream featuring Ohmwrecker and Wildcat. Now, full disclaimer before I start getting into this part, I'm not going to go into the full live stream. I'm actually going to go to a supercut that TJV has made in regards to this live stream as a whole. And since I'm mentioning TJV, I might as well say that he is covering this kind of drama and some other dramas more than I could ever anticipate. So if you want to catch up with the whole entire Ohmwrecker drama, I will leave the link in the description in regards to TJV's channel. But for now, let us begin. I know this video that TJV made in regards to the supercut was kind of, short based on the introduction, but I wanted to skip ahead of it just to get to the main action as far as I'm concerned. And I could already infer, based on how bad this is gonna go already. I can already tell, because it says right there Ohmwrecker was typing inside of TJV's stream, in which case we're going to see him typing in the stream.
Oh, right here, Ohm, let's go. Hey, TJV, I responded to that. Until you open your eyes, you're just not worth engaging. Talk to Luke and JD7.
Okay, so the live stream, the supercut starts off, of course, with Ohmwrecker texting that. I don't really know who JD7 is or Luke, but I can assure that there's someone else. They're not in the Vanoss crew. I don't really know anyone within those names, and I prefer not to be with saying the first names. I prefer to say the YouTubers' actual YouTube profile names, since I have the sense of telling me that I'm not given permission to say the real life names as far as I'm concerned. Also, I don't really know what Ohmwrecker is saying in regards to responding to, or that he is not gonna be engaging with TJV or whatever. I really don't know what the details is as of complete. I could only assume it's the same accusation he made since the Keemstar video, but really, I don't give a fuck, because those allegations were a long ass time ago. The better definition would be old, but I would say that either way works. It doesn't really make a difference. And when TJV has said within his Twitch stream towards Ohmwrecker, in which case Ohmwrecker was still watching the stream, he had said something about noticing this in the corner of his eye, and then eventually Ohmwrecker just came up and called TJV throughout the live stream.
Hello, Ohm, you're on a live stream, just letting you know.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
All right.
So, TJV, I mean, I've seen your videos in the past, man. Like,
All right.
it seems like you had a pretty heavy bias towards the guys, right? So,
Against the
you're not
guys?
somebody that,
Do you say I have a heavy bias against the guys?
Already coming through straightforward into this video, and he's coming up with the heavy bias towards these guys. Now, of course, we all know obviously towards is just against or something like that. Now, whatever drama that has occurred between Ohmwrecker, this guy named Luke, and RD7, and now TJV, which he got involved after Ohmwrecker called a TJV through the live stream, saying about heavy bias towards the two guys. Now, the thing is that actually concerns me is heavy bias over what? That's the good question that I should be asking right now. Again, I don't really keep track on the bullshit ass Ohmwrecker drama that has been going on as of late throughout this year and probably last year, but under no regard that I wanted to make this video possible. But yet I keep thinking about it every single time I watch these Ohmwrecker drama videos, and I just have to keep my mind out of what's going on as of now. Now, I may not know full details, but I could come up with a little bit of facts that could be a little bit interesting as to all of this, whatever the hell that Ohmwrecker does just to ruin his own career. He may act like a white knight, but after all the threats that he sent through, not just on YouTube, but also on Twitter and Twitch, I could definitely tell that he's just trying to white knight himself and try to make himself look good and try to further his own cause just to become more and more popular, and just to think that he's actually the one who brings justice inside of YouTube. Newsflash, buddy, you ain't doing shit that is making yourself look good. You're just making yourself look like a fucking clown. Anyways, the full-on part gets cut, and we eventually get to the next part where Ohmwrecker supposedly said at the time being that his evidence will arrive. In which case, we don't know what the evidence is because we don't even see it. Nobody even tells us anything about that. Well, I mean, nobody has to, I get that. But Ohmwrecker doesn't even say what the evidence is, what it contains, and all this stupid bullshit.
I don't see what you're saying as any valid proof. I don't see any evidence coming at all.
Right, it's coming. So, and you'll get the context on how Keem happened.
Ohmwrecker probably did or did not get the evidence, but I'm just gonna say this just in case if he did. Did he send any proof? No. Did he send anything in regards to what happened, how it happened, when it happened? No. Did he send any affiliations, like anyone who was involved inside of this kind of shit? Absolutely the fuck not. And if this is gonna be an extra question, just in case if he did or didn't, did he get his evidence? No, he didn't. I could presume. So, Ohmwrecker's full of shit, yeah. Or even if the evidence, is it ever gonna go to Ohmwrecker? I don't fucking think so. Okay, just go with a full grain of salt. My facts, questions, and possible answers are not all true. I'm just assuming what is to be the case and what isn't, as far as I'm concerned.
The folder is full of so many things out of context that has probably nothing to do with any of that, and you're throwing it up there to make them seem worse than they are.
You have not seen, trust me, dude, that is like...
Look, Ohmwrecker, buddy, come on. Understand that this is what it has to be. Not everyone looks into this bullshit. You know why? Because normally people don't do that, or they just don't give an absolute fuck, okay? Like for me, I don't know what is going on between this Luke and RD7, just like I don't know how H2O Delirious dated this little girl. But yet, all I know and all I see is you causing all this drama on multiple occasions. And this is just so far, I would say, annoying at one point. So I know some points that I will eventually say it later on. I am hearing it, I am seeing it, and I can fully express that you're just trying to white knight yourself completely. It still ain't working.
Okay, if every explanation you're gonna give is, oh, you haven't seen the truth yet.
It's coming.
Then...
Well, hey, you make content, right? You've been making content for a bit. It takes some time.
Yeah.
He's bringing in the part where we make content. Yes, we make content differently, and we're still trying to adjust. Of course, at the time, this mainly applies to TJV, since he's been talking to TJV at the moment throughout that live stream, of course. Now, inside of this part of the video, TJV did make a fair point in regards to the explanation that Ohmwrecker keeps repeating. It's getting too fucking old, and he needs to come up with something better. In which case, I don't even think it's ever going to be possible, because what could Ohmwrecker think of? He could only think about his stupid ass drama. He could think of trying to make YouTube a better place, but the thing is, I've seen better people do that job, like Swagta is a good example, number one, of course, except that he just takes his words into consideration. And Swagta doesn't even need evidence. He could see through the video and see what kind of bullshit is going on and what's going on with the live stream, and that mainly involves between what kind of affair he gets himself into. Sure, you may say that Swagta might be white knighting in some sort of way, but at least he's fucking honest. Unlike you, Ohmwrecker.
And Keem flat out just calls me out and says, dude, like, do you care about the fans or not?
In a personal opinion, not the very accurate one that I would see it, I think Ohmwrecker doesn't give an absolute fuck for his fans if he's just coming up with stupid drama like this, and if he's gonna be calling out people in regards to just saying some stuff to him, in which case he gets easily offended like a fucking snowball he is, or snowflake. Ohmwrecker's sensitivity on the topic within the subject is nearly the same level as a fucking SJW.
It was a bit of a trigger moment for me where I'm like, well, fuck, dude, like, of course I care about the fans.
It sounds like major persuasion. Like, if you would have just waited to make your own stuff and make your own stuff come out,
I get it.
there would have been way more respect for you in this entire situation. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm having absolutely zero respect for you, okay? If you believe that you're standing up, anyone who's following what they believe in or what they believe is right and they're trying to stand up for it, I have at least a very small respect for that.
TJV has another fair point, and this is being said on persuasion. Making up your own facts, your own personal point of view, everything that is in regard to your side of the story actually makes sense, and that you explain it to the people. There may be times that people might show a little bit of respect, or sometimes they won't. But I mean, it's how persuasion works. You can't expect everyone to agree with you every single time based on this little thing. But this kind of persuasion that you're coming up with based on saying how you haven't seen the truth, you haven't seen any of this. Well, guess what? We're seeing it from your bullshit ass view. I mean, like, we're seeing the truth come in based on you asking questions that people feel sensitive about answering right there and then. They know that will cause a lot of drama. And to be quite honest, nobody wants to put up with this kind of bullshit. I even remember hearing Terrorizer say that once before in a live stream when he was playing the Super Mario 64, but it was probably on a Nintendo Switch or something like that. It was a live stream, but I didn't even watch the live stream as far as I'm concerned. But I did watch a small part in regards to what the Gaming Terrorizer has in regards to the drama itself. Like, he doesn't want to put up with this shit. And if I were in that same perspective in regards to what happened, I don't want to be anywhere involved into some stupid bullshit ass drama, as far as I'm concerned. Now, if it were a need to be done scenario, that's a different story. But most of the dramas that I hear, see, and even experience are not based on the need to be done situation, so I don't really give a fuck. And that said, within my perspective of drama itself.
Now, you've lost all your other respect by one, being persuaded by Keem to go on to Drama Alert to do all this. That was probably the biggest mistake, because that Drama Alert video is so embarrassing.
It's actually very embarrassing for him, TJV, because he gets called out on Twitter and YouTube and all the other online platforms on this. Even more embarrassing that he got called out by Keemstar himself later on when he robbed Keemstar on the wrong side.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of opinion, right? Like, I know what you see with the backlash, but you got to keep in mind, like, the Vanoss group, we have incredibly passionate fans, and I guess maybe I can't say we anymore. But this was going to happen no matter what.
This was going to happen because you decided to make it happen. If you didn't make this happen, all of this would not be an issue. Towards you, towards Vanoss, towards the others. It's like a mouse just roaming around and trying to get a piece of cheese. But the cheese is actually on a mouse trap. And that the trap actually gets the mouse after the mouse sprung it by getting the cheese. And in this case scenario, Keemstar was the trap, this drama was the cheese, and you were the rat. Now, if you took a moment to understand that Vanoss and his friends did not want this kind of thing to happen, they don't want this kind of thing to happen. They didn't want to talk about it at all. They just want to keep it between themselves. They know that Keemstar is full of shit anyways, so it's not like he's gonna ask for the truth. He's gonna want some sort of perspective, just get the scoop. Whatever the fuck stupid ass scoop he's trying to get, just to try to make more money and profit himself. Not just himself, but also his own channel. Anyways, I'm gonna assume that you were warned about this kind of predicament to happen if you were to say the bullshit drama, but instead you decided to ignore it like a stupid ass bitch. Ohmwrecker essentially later on calls Wildcat weak. We shall see about that.
A Wildcat is a weak man. Like, I'm not intimidated by him. He threatened me last year physically, and then trying to get me to play games with him again 2 months ago is just total manipulation.
I'd say the physically part because you're just becoming playing annoying on some sort of way. I don't know how you become annoying. I just never figured that out. Well, right now I could figure because of the drama, but asides that, I don't really know. But hey, he still wants to play a video game with you. He's still your friend. or was your friend at the time. And really, he probably must have been asking if you want to play a video game. And really, asking is more of a yes or no question. So a yes or no question was no form of manipulation. I could call bullshit on that part. Also, the next time you want to call Wildcat a weak man, I'd watch where you put your words within that tongue of yours.
No, for
Like,
real.
What do you mean for real?
You know what I've done
I
with
can
the-
I
with
can
the-
hear you
the
smirking as you're saying this. You're enjoying
Yeah, because
this.
of the threads.
But after that part, Ohmwrecker stopped smirking.
Had some interaction where he was calling out. Dude, you're calling. TJV, I didn't say I was down to do this.
Wildcat got himself involved in the VC. The only thing that happened throughout the VC and the live stream, though, is that Wildcat didn't really say anything. In other words, he didn't use his microphone at all. But this actually takes the cake, because after Wildcat comes into the VC, Ohmwrecker's spirit of manliness
Bust out like a bitch.
and also a hunch has called me in, and it's telling me that this had applied to every single YouTuber that he has talked to or talked about within a VC, and if they happen to get on the VC. Though something like that hasn't happened yet that I know of, I could only safely assume what is to be the case and what isn't. Now, before we get to the next part, which was this little Twitter civil war, I want to look over at Ohmwrecker's final words before he gets off the stream. Yeah, I really want to.
And when I bring things forward, or
So your classic excuse. When the evidence comes out, we'll see.
all right, hey TJV, it's nice talking to you, man. I
All
gotta
right.
go.
See you later, man.
Later.
I would love to have the same face of disappointment, the same smile of the disappointment that I have to endure when Ohmwrecker comes up with this shit. However, I don't really like revealing it, so yeah, that's not gonna happen in a very long while. Anyways, with that being said, next part, the Twitter Civil War. Now, this action point's title may sound like I'm over-exaggerating. At least that's what it sounds like to some people. But at last, from, of course, TJV again, this is going to be another one of those videos from TJV, but it's going to be a full list of, well, it's not a list, but it's a full video of all the tweets that have been occurring back and forth between the Vanos crew and Ohmwrecker and whatnot. Also, in regards to this video, I'm not actually going to go watching through the whole entire thing. I'm actually going to have these little freeze points within the video in regards to seeing these tweets, so that way I could get a better look at reading them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. This was first tweeted by H2O Delirious. I think this happened after the drama, saying,
"Screw Ohm, that manipulative piece of shit. He's not the saint he claims. All his lies and twists because two groups decided they didn't want to play games with him. Allegedly, he did the same thing with to Markiplier. Asked why he cheated on his real-life girlfriend he likes to keep secret. Jamie Payne."
Although doing interviews help with furthering this own kind of thing, I don't like doing them considering the fact that I've never really done interviews as far as I'm concerned. That's number one. Number two is that I don't like doing an interview without the other person's permission, as it should be. I don't want to be a little ripoff of Keemstar and just go and tweet out or just say, "Oh, can you come in so that way you give me your personal side of how the situation is?" The thing about doing interviews, like trying to get people to do interviews, I feel like if you try to bother the person to get an interview with them, the thing about it is like trying to do a test and another student comes nagging at you and they want the answers to that said test. And with that being said, I don't like copying students' answers without giving them any form of credit as far as I am concerned. It's exactly why I don't really like asking students for answers towards a certain quiz, whether it's like science or math or reading or whatnot. And this ties in with interviewing because I don't like doing the interview and having all of this proved without the person being credited for whatever they had to say. Besides, most people express their own ways within Twitter as it is, so it wouldn't make very much of a difference as far as I'm concerned. They're not giving the fullest extent of it, but it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not expecting the full extent of all of this.
I'm currently trying to be happy and raise my child and be good at having a family, but constantly had in my messages every day with some crazy questions and paranoia or blaming me when it wasn't my game sessions, because people don't like him, and this is what he does.
I mean, to be fair, sometimes H2O Delirious can be bored and he wants to play with you. You never know, that's why he goes into your game sessions, and that's why he wants to play alongside with you, or that he's in the middle of your video and or live streams. Another thing is that you should not be fucking texting Delirious about this stupid shit. Just raising your own paranoia and just trying to make things worse, not only on him, but also on yourself. And the reason why I say on him is considering the fact that, yes, he is raising a family, and he's doing it alongside with Liz Katz. They already have a daughter, and I can only assume they're about to have another child. Now, why I say for you is because you're just getting yourself nowhere. That's just as simple. You're getting yourself nowhere about these allegations.
I do want to address one thing that has been said that has been completely misrepresented. It's something I have for many years been embarrassed about and destroyed my trust for years. I never wanted to have to talk about this. I still don't, but it's being forced on me. 9 years ago, 2 people thought it would be funny to do something really messed up as a form of hazing me. It's no secret, I was easily excited and very crude when I was in my early 20s. Someone I had played with a few times prior on Xbox
360, I presume,
messaged me saying they were only wearing a towel. This caught my attention and interest. She invited me to do a voice call, and this led to the equivalent of phone sex. At the time, I did not know her or anything about her. I was just excited a woman was coming on to me out of nowhere. This was before any of us were big on YouTube. I was dumb. A week or so later, I started hearing from the group about an audio recording of me with her. I was shocked, felt violated, and betrayed. To this day, I can't bring myself to fully forgive them for this. It came to light that the two got the lady to message me, coming to me and saying those things just to record it. She was on the call with them the whole time, and they recorded it and shared it. I'm so embarrassed and ashamed still. I, to this day, don't know if this part is true, but while I was being taunted for it, they also said the woman wasn't a woman at all, and yet it was only 17. I don't know if she was or if it was just said to make me feel worse. I was furious with everyone involved with the advice from others in the group that it was the best we had to cut all the crap and move on. I let go. Now it's brought back to light, and I hate to have to talk about it. I don't want to name who. They know who they are. It sucks.
Good news is I have to read that once, not twice. Anyways, it doesn't matter if H2O Delirious had made this clear upon everyone. He did say that he doesn't want to bring it back towards the broad of light. And since it's being brought back, he feels like he has to address it once again. But the thing to me, as far as I am concerned, this kind of bullshit is a long ass time ago. So causing drama just because of this one bullshit thing that H2O Delirious did, which was a long time ago and that they moved on from, being brought back to light, is highly fucking irrelevant. This is stupid. This is just the stupidest way to try to get yourself to become the good guy. I'm sorry to say this, but the good guy is actually the person that is making changes not only towards themselves, but also to their friends as well. So even though you tried to report this, Ohmwrecker, you're too late. And there's something to be said about this kind of stuff. It shouldn't be said only to Ohmwrecker, but it should also be said to other people that are in regards to trying to expose this kind of shit. You may try to further your own cause, and you may try to white knight yourself in regards to this kind of thing, but what you don't realize is that you're fucking failing to try to bring this person down based on an event that happened so long ago that it is highly irrelevant to be brought back as of today, if the person you're arguing against or about has made changes not towards himself only, but also to some of those around him or her. H2O Delirious, basically I Do Work, Mexicutioner, I Am Wildcat, whoever else was inside of this, had taken the time throughout the years when they were still doing YouTube after that event to make changes, to make their relations a lot more better than what had happened inside of that one simple event. It's too late to be mentioning about that now.
It was me. It was a shitty thing to do, and I've apologized to Delirious dozens of times over the years. I don't blame him for not forgiving me. The entire plan started and stopped while we were trying to get him to turn on his webcam and do a face reveal.
Boom! The facts don't lie, and I called this fact. And some may ask, where did I get this fact? Go back to action point number 1, and from there, within the facts that I've stated, you will hear that I stated this one out. And, of course, it's like I said, Ohmwrecker. They wanted to get Delirious's face. That's all they want. It's all taken into consideration, considering the fact that the Vanoss crew might have seen a few of these face reveal videos on April 1st, which is obviously April Fool's, and that they actually want to get H2O Delirious's face. The full-on real face. Not like a fake thing. Something like this is not going to happen again, and I, for one, am glad it's not going to happen again because the Vanoss crew has learned from their mistakes as to what happened so long ago, and that they don't want to bring this up again. Though the good news is, this won't be mentioned again when the Ohmwrecker drama is over. And Ohmwrecker may not be happy if it finishes whatever he just caused, considering the fact that he just wants attention. As if making videos sometimes with other YouTubers wasn't enough to gain attention to everyone. Now, I'm not going to call names on this type of predicament, but the people that do these type of things, they're out to be lashed out and they won't know what exactly is gonna lash them out, or when, or even where. Quack, 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 quack. Nah, I'm not gonna speak Doug for this one.
What the hell is wrong with you? Taking advantage of minors and young single friends of your own for your own amusement? Nah, bro, Owen was right about you. This sounds like the police needs to get involved. Not one time did I say, go have phone sex with Delirious. We wanted to see if she could get him to do a face reveal. That was it. What happened during the call, I had no influence on.
You're gonna try to get the police involved in a controversy that happened a decade ago. What are they gonna do? They're just gonna slap H2O Delirious or Vanoss and his crew on the wrist, and that's about it. Within the law system, the police would have to do some searching for some evidence to see if they could prove this case. Cops can't really do any arresting without a warrant. That's one thing. Another thing they have to keep in mind is that they need to have actual evidence that ties in with all this. And really, since it has been a decade, I would say the evidence is long lost. So good luck with trying to get the cops on them. Also, on what basically I Do Work said, I could presume that everyone else didn't have an influence onto what this girl has in stores. She just came up with this kind of stuff on her own terms. That's about it. That's my guess, at least.
Your entire plan was to breach someone's privacy by using a woman as an incentive. How is that much worse?
It's only much worse to send a girl as an incentive if the incentive is planning to execute the person. In other words, assassinate. But the good news is the girl that they have sent wasn't that type of girl that would have done such things. So yeah, that's at least an up. And you know, it's a possibility that it could have gotten a little bit more worse if they sent in a hooker or a porn star to do the job.
Funny how people will spend more time attacking me than denouncing pedos. They deleted thousands of tweets and tens of millions of video views slandering me and lying after a full year of threats. Wait until you see everything. Keem saw a tiny amount and left some stuff out.
Kind of funny though, Ohmwrecker, that you decided to go on to Keemstar out of all people, because the way I see it, multiple other YouTubers were saying that he is just spewing out straight bullshit as it is. And a guy like him is not worth the time, nor space, nor breath to be talking to about this kind of bullshit. Also, it's kind of funny how you decided to lash out on pedophiles and trying to call H2O Delirious one on an event that happened nearly a decade, or just a decade ago in general, dumbass. Even a fucking toddler can learn that someone changed throughout their time for the greater good of their own lifestyle.
amongst them and their family members and friends. It is one thing that everyone can avoid, and H2O Delirious has done that for quite a long while. Meaning that I might be still going through this, but I don't really know. He's not mainly my focus right now. And also, you were warned about this kind of stuff. That mainly comes from the Vanoss crew. You were also warned on some other things that you might have done in the past from another few set of people, but still, right now, you were warned about this, and what you do, you didn't take the warning for consideration. You just went like a dumbass and decided to do this shit. All because you're trying to prevent pedophilia. I can only assume that you went through pedophilia once before where you had, well, you know, you were sexually harassing a younger girl, like a girl that was younger than you, and then that's when your girlfriend decided to break up with you. I don't really know. That's just an assumption. Or that you just want attention. You've already been having attention by making YouTube videos, which are gameplay videos alongside with other people. What more could you possibly fucking want? But by my logic is by this. You fucked up, Ohmwrecker. Because on your YouTube channel, you hardly have that many views on your YouTube channel, Ohmwrecker. And based on how many subscribers you have, the massive majority are not watching your videos because of this stupid bullshit. Not only that, they might have unsubscribed from your channel too. And I'm even one of the people that has unsubscribed from your channel as well because of this bullshit that I have to figure out. This drama is so fucking stupid and absurd. I'd rather listen to Donald Trump complaining like a bitch about his presidency being lost, if anything.
Between Wildcat's big crusade to accuse me of being a fake account in June 2020, turning friends on me, Terrorizers' lie last year, and then coming across the stuff with the group and underage girls / complicity, plus the threats and libel. It's been a world of bullshit.
Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. The world's full of bullshit. Welcome to life, Ohmwrecker. That's how it is normally nowadays. You might as well suck it up and get used to it. Not everything goes by smoothly as you would think yourself, Ohmwrecker. Whether you like it or not, it just never will. And yeah, that little quote-unquote lie, that's the main reason why Terrorizer doesn't want to play with you anymore. I mean, common fucking sense is that if the people who are saying that they don't know such event or has not experienced it, that they don't fucking know. Like seriously, you're putting your nose up in the wrong alleyway and you're just sniffing upon it. And instead of just letting this shit go and go by your own separate way, you're starting to devolve yourself from a human being to become a fucking monkey, because there's no fucking way in hell that there's someone this stupid that decides to come up with this bullshit excuse and to assume that everyone always knows everything when they really don't. This stupid bullshit drama that Ohmwrecker is trying to white knight and crusade upon himself is just the exact type of bullshit that my brain cells want to commit suicide one by one until my brain doesn't want to work anymore.
While his wife was pregnant.
Well, girlfriend, I should say. They were not legally married yet.
And add to that, other girl who I spoke to was on direct call a couple months ago. Told me she personally reported Delirious to the police for child pornography over the things she knew firsthand from at least one other victim. Open your eyes.
The hell does that mean?
The hell do you mean open my eyes? I've already opened my eyes to the fact that you're starting some BS drama with this one stupid allegation that happened a decade ago, which should be deemed irrelevant to be the case of starting this drama to begin with. And I'm just gonna say this, the people who have done this kind of thing, and if it happened a long time ago, say like a month or a year, a few months, maybe even a year or so more, then it's highly irrelevant, because the person is making changes towards themselves, their friends, their family, and even their fans all alone.
You are either lying or you're stupid!
That's just it. That's just it. Either he's lying or he's just plain fucking stupid. That's all I have to say.
I am so tired of people bringing up this Markiplier garbage. Jack was the source of it, not me. Here is me bringing it up with him again in 2020, where he downplayed it. Again, I was not the source of it. The one time I mentioned it to Mark, he blocked me.
Markiplier plainly doesn't want to talk about it. Plus, he's been trying to make changes that would satisfy everyone. even himself. But no, nobody thinks about change. That's all I have to say as far as I'm concerned for YouTube's reality nowadays. Besides, I don't think Jacksepticeye or Sean or whatever didn't even want to talk about this in the first place. Therefore, being said, I'm not going to go straight forward and just interrupt whatever the hell he's doing just to get an interview and try to ask him some of these stupid questions that I don't really want to know about. As a matter of fact, it's not about him. It's between you and the Vanoss crew. That's it. Nothing more than that. And you may say, but I'm discluding Minilad. Well, there's an actual reason as to why I'm doing that. Because he's not the main focus I'm going by. The main focus is you and H2O Delirious and the other Vanoss crew. Or in better words, the other members of the Vanoss crew.
This was raised because Wildcat and Delirious have tried to accuse me of falsely accusing Markiplier. I was not the source. They brought it to Twitter again, as having misinformed haters. Look at the screenshot yourself. Jack doesn't dispute it at all.
I don't really know the timeline between the H2O Delirious and Ohmwrecker drama, between the Jacksepticeye and Markiplier drama, but I don't really fucking care. All I could say is this. First is Ohmwrecker trying to expose Delirious for some stupid incident a decade ago. Now he's just bringing something in regards to a dispute between Jacksepticeye and Markiplier that doesn't really seem relevant to be a part of the Vanoss crew as a whole. Ohmwrecker, look, nobody gives a fuck as to who or what the source is. The only thing that everyone gives a fuck right now is the person that's trying to bring up some stupid bullshit back into the broad of daylight. That's you. And I could say this is because instead of leaving everyone alone, you decide to besmirch everyone's reputation in the YouTube platform just to make yourself look better, not only on the platform, but also in the world in general. Well, guess what, dumbass? Everyone hates you now. Even I'm starting to hate you too. To be quite frankly honest with you, you're on the same stupidity level as to Kathleen Kennedy. That's all I have to say. Because it's not just one dumb thing that Ohmwrecker wants to say. No, there's gonna be more crap added onto that dumb thing he said. And not only what he just say, but every dumb decision he makes. As of today.
All of this is only serving as a distraction by the people that have heinous allegations and evidence emerging, most of which isn't even public yet. Wildcat pulled this shit last year, weaponizing troll armies. When the dust settles, you'll see more clear.
Troll armies? I think that only applies to the people that are actually wanting to troll you, as far as I am concerned. I mean, surely enough, look back at Keemstar's videos before he started the drama alert on the Xbox when he was playing Halo, and see that he and his friends can also be declared as a small little troll army of their own, or I should say troll commandos. Besides, I know that when Wildcat came into that TJV stream you were featured in, he didn't really need an army. He didn't really say anything. He just wanted to hear you. You pussed out like a bitch. He knows how much you are full of shit, and at that point, you were missing your cerebrum part of the brain to admit that whatever you said in regards to the allegations of H2O Delirious was old news and dismissed and passed away, or it was just all complete bullshit at the end of the day. When the dust settles at the end of all of this stupid BS drama that you caused at the very beginning, at the very end, everyone inside of YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, whatever social media platform that currently exists, is most likely gonna hate you. That even includes the Vanoss crew as far as I'm concerned. And you won't be making enough revenue inside of your YouTube platform or in your donations box that you would need to start working at McDonald's to make some money. That's until that kind of dust settles in.
These are validated situations involving the group, and allegations, currently the same as an allegation, to be clear.
I'm only going to say this one more time. The incident from 10 years ago has long passed. So there really isn't anything you could possibly do to hold H2O Delirious accountable for an action he did a decade ago. I'm not going to repeat that again.
Let me save you the click. Vanoss crew drama explained. Who is a creepy dude with a history, gets mad that no one will play with him anymore, so starts making up accusations to get everyone he feels wronged him canceled. Louis is kind of a jerk and an idiot, but whatever, and says a bunch of stupid crap to someone he barely knows. In parentheses, he slid into my DMs before long ago. Didn't go anywhere he likes to just talk crap. Then goes on to say he wished he pulled the girls and the nudes the Delirious gets, being my nudes. And no, the group with all of them does not share my nudes. But I'm sure he and plenty of other guys, probably others in that circle, are in some other groups that do. But I post nude photos for a living. I'm just mad they should be paying like everyone else. Then one bounces on this. This construes everything and frames it.
Okay, so Liz Cat saved me from going into the Twitter to figure this all out. That's fine enough by me. I think that'll be the last tweet I'll go by, as far as I'm concerned. Now, when Liz Katz tweeted all of this, the main question to me, myself, is Ohmwrecker doing this because he wants to make the whole entire platform and world a better place and wants to spread judgment and justice amongst the pedophiles around here? Or is he doing this because he's just too fucking jealous? I mean, surely enough, he could have asked his girlfriend for at least one nude. It wouldn't kill him. Oh wait, it probably would have. And that's not the only problem, people. The other thing is that he's quote unquote not a pedophile. Let's just imagine this. Let's not go straight ahead to assuming. What if Ohmwrecker did do something like this? What if he was once a pedophile? What if Ohmwrecker did talk to an underage girl, more younger than him? And also, if he did it behind his ex-girlfriend's back, I'm pretty certain she wouldn't be happy about this. I don't know. I mean, the allegations that Ohmwrecker say makes him not trust everyone. And now I'm starting not to trust him because of something that I think out of my own mind. I think my own assumption is not to be true, but it is to be questioned in the future at one point. Clearly, I would put this question straightforward to Ohmwrecker, but I don't think he'll answer to that anytime soon. Like any other video made by any other YouTuber, what better way to end one video than a little conclusion? So to conclude upon this drama, it is completely full of bullshit. I'm not saying any libels and slanders on my personal point of view. I'm saying what I can see within my perspective, because inside of my personal point of view about this BS drama, only one person just goes out on his own way and defecates every single person he can at his own certain point of view in regards to some sort of stupid allegation in regards to pedophilia that is like a long ass time ago, or just some sort of stupid shit in regards to jealousy. I don't really know, I don't really care. He's even trying to do his damnedest to try to besmirch everyone's reputation within the YouTube platform. Not only that, but also on multiple other social media platforms that exist as well. And also, I would like to provide two facts within this kind of conclusion. Fact number one about this drama is that Ohmwrecker is not only targeting YouTubers or some people that he doesn't even know of, he's also targeting himself in regards of all of this, just to white knight himself as far as I'm concerned, or whatever the hell he wants to call it. Fact number two is that I don't know how this motherfucker didn't even get his YouTube channel, his Twitter, his Twitch, whatever social media he is, banned for quite a while in regards to this stupid ruse is a hot heaping 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, all being burned in an incinerator, in which case the fumes coming from the exhaust of the incinerator, which is burning the shit, happens to be puffing out hazardous toxic fumes that kills brain cells, if anything. With this being said, my name is iShadow01. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I, for the most majority part, because of the stupid drama, am not enjoying making this video as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna keep myself onto the verge of making gaming videos until I feel like I'm ready to make a Star Wars special, but for now, I'm just gonna stick to gaming. I don't want to get myself just attracted to being disappointed on every single thing. And with that being said, everyone, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like, feel free to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you don't have to. It's fine. And with that being said, my name's shitshow01, and I'll see you in the next episode.